Live from the State of the Nation Address 2026. This is the moment where we have conversations with different political parties and leaders as well, just to find out what the expectations are ahead of the State of the Nation Address by President Cyril Ramaphosa. I've got the leader of Jama-ah in Parliament, Mr. Moosa, and we just want to find out from you. You are one of those minority parties and also who have some sort of influence, especially in the local governance. But in Parliament now, what are we expecting as the leader of Jama-ah?
So basically, one of the main principles that we'd like the President to address at the moment is with regards to immigration policies, where we need asylum seekers and refugees statuses to be attended to. Because presently, we find that there's many refugees and asylum seekers for many a year staying in South Africa without documentation. And this then leads to xenophobic violence. So that's just one of the issues that we need to attend to. And obviously we also have generally at grassroots level, we find that implementation is very, very slow when it comes to housing, when it comes to poverty. And the inherent danger of that is that presently with the unemployment and poverty, this can very well lead to a protest for the reasons of poverty and unemployment. And you see crime escalates due to the social ills. And this is the overall view that we feel as Jama that needs to be implemented or presented by the President in a way that's implemented at grassroots levels.
And when we speak of poverty, we speak of unemployment in the country, which is quite high, especially in certain provinces. I come from the Eastern Cape, and it's one of those issues that we have. What do you think that can be implemented that has not been implemented in previous years? And what can the President say today that has not been said or been said last year and not been implemented?
So I think this needs to be part of public participation where you have corporates and businesses partnering with government. The reason is that we see that government on its own cannot execute and implement. So it's very important that you have the corporates and businesses in those particular areas. For example, if you come from Eastern Cape, you need corporates and businesses to ensure that they partner with government to see how they can solve problems. Because remember, at the end of the day, we need to be hopeful and confident as patriotic South Africans to find solutions. And this is the way we need to move forward. And I think in light of this, we need the President to address issues that will execute service delivery at grassroots levels.
And speaking of, those governance and grassroots levels, we're heading into the local government elections. And, there's been issues with, smaller parties getting together and trying to resolve certain issues that, the national unity or the governance of national unity is not touching base on. And so with Jama-ah going to local government elections, what are your plans, especially when it comes to coalition and working with other parties?
Inevitable that the way the political dynamics is playing out in South Africa, it's obvious that there's coalitions. And the important aspect is that I think at local government is that the infrastructure needs to be sorted out, and service delivery is surely lacking in all provinces. We need to basically escalate the service delivery, ensure that service delivery is met up at grassroots levels, because presently I think there's a lot of apathy when it comes to service delivery at local level. So we're going to have to in some way ascend to such a level that with government we can ensure that service delivery is effected or impacted at grassroots level.
And how is it now we can deal also with corruption? We are at a point where we have the Madlanga Commission, we have the ad hoc committee in Parliament as well, trying to get to the level, the bottom level of what is actually happening in our justice system and also in our police system as well.
No, you're absolutely correct. I totally agree with that. I think due to the corruption, this country is, at the brink of sometimes, I would say, a protest. The reason being, like I told you, what compounds the problem is actually in the hierarchy of government and police, where these officials start looking for opportunities to enrich themselves. And this is a serious impact. So I agree with you totally that it needs to be addressed, and that's why we have the Madlanga Commission to attend to this particular issue. And I think it's a good way forward if we can eradicate corruption, because corruption is really depriving the poor and unemployed in this country.
30 years of, the South African Constitution at hand today. We are reflecting on that. What would Jama-ah, as a smaller party as well, but also as, you've been part of the process of South Africa, especially when it comes to, the lawlessness and all those things. But what message would you have then as we are reflecting on 30 years of the Constitution?
I think the message is very, very clear. We should have hope, confidence in the country, despite whatever is happening. South Africa is one of the most wonderful countries in the world. And I think if we work together in unity and we ensure that, many of the problems, we work together with government, participate where there's government programs, we can make a huge difference in this country and ensure that our country is stabilized.
Mr. Moosa, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much. That is the leader of Parliament of Jama-ah talking to us, and we're just, giving us words of hope as well. We're thinking that South Africa is on the brink of something that we do not understand, especially when it comes to corruption and, unemployment, crisis with the water. But we need to be hopeful. That is the message. This is the Voice Lounge coming to you live from Cape Town.
The Voice Lounge, where voices come to life.